Hey everybody, it's Corey with Ascend Smarter Intervention, and I am so excited to share this template with you and just show you how we use this, how you can use it for setting goals in your setting. So you're going to have access to this Excel spreadsheet. And essentially what it has is it has a number of different goals that you can use, and you can tweak those. So we'll have a bunch of extra ones that you can mix and match in there if you need. But you can go ahead and tweak those goals. But the awesome thing about this is that what you're going to do is you're going to use this as a rubric for your IEPs, for your PLC data, for your RTI MTSS data, or if you're doing this in a private practice like we do, what you can do is you can say, by our next progress monitoring session, student name will increase his or her independent reading level as demonstrated on the following scoring tool by increasing his or her score from a whatever it was at baseline to whatever you're moving towards. So typically what we like to see is we like to see one phonological awareness goal, one phonics goal, one vocabulary, one reading fluency, and one reading comprehension. And the reason for that is because we want to make sure that we're targeting all 5 of those core components of literacy that have been identified by the National Reading Council as really the key pieces that we need to make sure that we're setting students up for success. So even if you feel that reading comprehension is not an issue for a student, sometimes it's helpful to continue to be monitoring those abilities because you might be surprised. And in your intervention, you really should be making sure you're targeting that full circle and that you're not ever just focusing on one area. So we again have a ton of different goals that you can use and you can stick in there in the literacy goal bank. So you can definitely grab those, which are also in the progress monitoring section of the membership site. So you can grab those right there. But essentially, we gave you just an example here. So for example, for phonological awareness, student will be able to blend, segment, and manipulate phonemes to given words, sounds, to form new words in various structured activities. This gives you a lot of flexibility because you can be using any number of different strategies in phonological awareness to be measuring this. So that just gives you a little bit of flexibility when you write it that way. For phonics, the student name will be able to decode single syllable and multi-syllable words consisting of, we have the 6 syllable types in there. If you're not teaching based on the 6 syllable types, you can just change that so that it makes sense based on your instruction. Vocabulary, that student name will be able to identify nonsense words in a mixed list of real and nonsense words. Again, this is a really great concrete way to be able to look at vocabulary for your students. And then student name will read out loud with accuracy on a grade level passage. So when we're thinking accuracy, typically what we're doing is we're monitoring for a certain period of time to see how many miscues that they had in a running record in a set of however many words that you have there. To make this easy on ourselves, we only use passages that have the number of words on the side. So in our curriculum site, you have access to any of those reading fluency and comprehension passages if you're a part of our curriculum site as well. If not, no worries, but we would definitely recommend trying to find some passages that have the number of words on the side when you're doing this, because otherwise you're counting and it gets really tricky and it's taking up more time than it needs to. So again, if you have books or passages that you like to use frequently, I would suggest just making a master copy and writing it on the side for yourself. Your students don't have to have access to that, but for yourself, so just make it nice and easy, I would definitely recommend that. And then reading comprehension. So we have, after reading a story at, again, his, her, make sure you're changing that. Instructional level, student name will identify the main idea and 3 key details, make appropriate predictions, generate inferences, whatever you're targeting, or you can say using a combination of strategies, including but you want to make sure that you're talking about which ones that you're including. When you're using those data tracking sheets that we talked about, you will want to be calculating a score, a point score based on the % accuracy that they had on those data tracking sheets. So for example, if you had a student who got 70% accuracy on their phonological awareness, you would be 7. If they got 90% accuracy on their decoding, they would get a 9. So you're just using this key down here essentially to create your metric so that you're working here. Ideally, best case scenario, we are looking for a 9 or a 10. you want students at a very minimum to have 80% accuracy in any given topic to be able to say that they're going to be able to do that later on. 80% again is a very, very minimum. I would definitely recommend shooting more towards that 90 to 100% accuracy. However, we do know that that can be challenging over time to show that. And so I would recommend shooting for a minimum score of a 9. So you want to be making sure that your goals are set such that your students will be able to reach those with a minimum of 81% accuracy. What that means in this chart is that you're going to have, you want 9 here, you want a 9 here, 9, 9, 9. So if you want a 9 in all of the places that you're measuring, that's going to equal 45, because in this case we're measuring 5 different constructs. So if we're shooting for a 9, because that's what we need to show accuracy, and we have 5 constructs, our target goal would be 45. So that's how we've come up with that. If you had 6 goals, then what you would want is 9 times 6. So your target would be 54. So really what you want to be doing is you want to be targeting at that 80 to 100% accuracy. Again, not really 80. I want to say at least 81%, but that's again on the minimum side. And so that's how you're going to use that. You're going to go ahead and just click, your student scores in there, and you're going to take a look at how those go up and down over time. So that's really great. You can also then insert a graph so that you can see those scores going up and down over time. And you can create a trend line saying, hey, we want this to be at 45. Like that's our goal, so they can see where that goal is going to be. So that's the reading piece. We also have writing, so you can have some writing goals and some executive functioning goals as well. So we've just thrown those in there for you as well, just so that you can take a look at how we would do this for writing goals and just other goals, because you don't just have to do this for reading goals. You can use this for any of the goals that you're creating, but this is just an example to show you what that might look like. So anyway, we're so excited to share this with you. We hope this is helpful, and let us know if you have any questions. We'd love to see you in the Intervention Insiders membership group, the Facebook group. So if you haven't joined that, please do. We'd love to see you there. I'll make sure to link that on this page for you so you can join it if you're not there already. So anyway, hopefully this helps. Let us know again if you have any questions.